Hi everyone and welcome back. I am going to do my 4 to 6 week pregnancy update. I thought I would do the first few weeks as like fortnightly updates rather than weekly, because I'm doing these in secret and I'm going to upload them, so I don't want to have like 12 videos to upload. So I thought I would do it fortnightly and kind of gives you a bit more insight into what's going on rather than every week, because sometimes at the start there's not really much happens apart from the odd symptom here and there. But I'll just go quickly into what's been going on between weeks 4 and 6. So obviously we found out when I was 4 months pregnant, and I'm now, I think this is 6 weeks and 4 days. Yeah, that would be right, 6 weeks and 4 days. I would say, as I found out, going into like week 4 was quite, I had the odd symptom. I had a bit of sore boobs. I had very mild nausea. I didn't really have a huge amount. There was little bits and pieces, telltales, quite a lot of cramping, which was I had in my last pregnancy, so I knew that was fine. As we went into week 5, I would say things just sort of calmed down, and I don't know why, I'm just really anxious about this pregnancy. I've really no reason to be. I'm very lucky, I've not had a miscarriage, or you know, I've been very lucky to conceive quite easily, but I just feel really anxious. I think it's because we have conceived so easily that I just feel like something's gonna happen, and I really don't know why. There's nothing to say. I've had no bleeding. I'm just very anxious. I think I just want to know, you know, just like seeing it on the screen in a scan just kind of makes it that bit more real, and you're just very, until you see that and you know there's a heartbeat and you just feel like, whew, I could relax a bit. So I think between weeks 4 and 6 I was very anxious. I have settled down a bit, but I am still, I think it's very much until I see the scan I'm gonna feel a bit more relaxed. As you can tell, I'm quite out of breath. I had that quite bad one day at work. I was rushing about trying to get organised for Olivia, drop her off and then head to my work, and I went into work and it was just a bit manic trying to sort an urgent job out, and I was really struggling to breathe. Like, I'd never had that before. Like, I could barely get my breath. And that was quite scary, but it did settle down. But I have noticed quite a bit of breathlessness. Definitely lots of going to the bathroom. I didn't really have any sickness. It would kind of get the odd day, odd couple of hours or odd feeling, but it wasn't a really bad. And the cramping was kind of coming and going, and I think that whole week 5, like maybe the end of week 4 to the end of week 5, I just felt so anxious. I was kind of, it's really sad to say this, but I was kind of hoping I would bleed, because then if I did, I would feel inclined to phone the early pregnancy unit and I could get a scan. But I didn't bring myself to do it, even though I didn't bleed. And I did consider phoning anyway and saying I did, but it's just, I don't know, I just feel so anxious. I think because you're so out of control, you don't know what's going on. There's not like a magic wand that you can look in and see that everything's okay, especially this early on. So it's really difficult, but I have calmed down a bit. So I think when the symptoms kind of went away into that sort of like week 5, I was like, oh, something's gonna happen, you know, just constantly checking if it was bleeding. And obviously you get quite a lot of cervical mucus, and every time I just felt this wetness, I'll be like, oh, here we go, it's gonna happen, and it's fine. So sorry, TMI, but that's what's going on. I've had quite a lot of bloating, irregular bowel movements, really bad bloating actually, gas, and it's made so much worse by the fact that obviously it's Christmas and New Year, so you're like filling your stomach up of junk, so it's bloated at the best of times, and it's just, oh, it's awful. I wouldn't say I've been too bad the last few days, but I don't want to go too much into like week 6. I'll wait until my 6 to 8 week update. So heading into like the end of week 5, the nausea hit like a ton of bricks, and I'm just going to touch on it briefly because again it is really like I'm suffering so bad just now, but I want to kind of wait till the next update and I can tell you then what's really going on. I've got C-bands. I never did this, I never got these with my last pregnancy. I kind of just ate, but I really don't want to eat to get rid of the sickness because I put on so much weight in my last pregnancy. I really don't want to do that. But I am really struggling with coping with it because the only like it feels so much worse this time. The last time it was like I could just kind of eat and that would be a couple hours, but it feels like as soon as I eat, even if it's a big meal, I'm half an hour to an hour later I can feel the sickness bubbling up again, and it's just awful. So I got the C-bands to see if that would take away a bit, especially when you're at work. I haven't told work yet. I don't really want them to know until things progress a bit more. So I thought these would help. I'm a bit paranoid that I see them at work, but I'm hoping if I just kind of put my sleeves up, and it's quite a light colour, I don't think it's too obvious. So we'll see how we get on. But yeah, the sickness has just been awful. It's just, I don't know whether I've forgotten how bad it is or if it just generally is 10 times worse. Someone mentioned that because I'm not getting as much rest, it's probably why it's worse, because obviously with Olivia, fatigue definitely has hit. It feels like as soon as I was like coming towards the end of week 5, everything is just piling on. So the fatigue, bloating, tiredness, sickness is just all coming up. And a couple of breakouts, a couple of really bad spots. There was like one here and then there was one here, but other than that, oh, and I had one in my shoulder. But other than that, I haven't had anything. They all seem to have gone. I remember with Olivia, I had really bad breakouts the whole way through. And it wasn't just like my face, it was all over my like upper body. It was in my back and my chest and like down here. But it seems to have calmed down. Whether that's going to continue or not, I don't know. But so far so good, because that is awful as well. Breast pain seems to have decreased a little bit. As I said, in week 5, that was something that was quite, they were really getting quite sore, and I remember Olivia a few times like leaning on them and thinking, oh, that's a bit painful, and a couple of times taking off my bra and there just being that, oh, that's sore. They're definitely fuller, they're definitely bigger, and obviously there's all the usual changes with nipples, but I would say they are definitely not as sore as I remembered them the last time, which could be just because I'm used to it, or like obviously I breastfed the last time, so I don't know if that has anything to do with it. I have noticed a couple of times like pins and needles like kind of round my back, and that was I used to get that sort of feeling when I was breastfeeding. Sometimes it happened just randomly, but sometimes I remember, I was trying to remember, sorry, that's my phone. I think it might have been like, you know, that letdown, you know, when they first latch on, you get that sort of like pins and needles, but I remember that quite a lot, and I've definitely had that feeling a few times where it's like, it starts, I don't know, it's like in my back, it's weird. I don't know if anyone else has had that. Very breathless. Other than that, I'm just trying to think if there's anything else symptom wise that's really been bad, but I think that's it. I was looking to see, I thought we could get a scan at the end of this week, so I'm almost seven weeks, but the place that I go to get a scan at is saying 8. So I've got another week and a bit to go, so it's not too far and I'll feel a bit calmer. But I think the fact that the symptoms have come on so bad this week has made me feel a little bit relaxed. But I'll get more into that next week once we see how it goes. I can show you a bump, but there's nothing there but bloat and Christmas because I've just been wild. But if you've got any hints and tips for getting rid of nausea, please let me know, because it's so bad, and I really don't want to be piling on the weight. I'm going to try to walk and do some exercise this time rather than just doing nothing. I'm going to try and set myself some goals of doing something every day, so we'll see how it goes. But I'll show you my bump. There's really nothing there apart from bloat. I don't know if you can see, because I do have dark jeans on. I'll come back a bit. Yeah, so it's honestly, it's nothing there but, yeah, it's nothing there but bloat and Christmas turkey, I think. There's nothing there at all, so we'll just see how it progresses. I think in the first pregnancy I started wearing maternity clothes by like 12 weeks. That probably could have been all the crisps, but I'm kind of hoping, I've booked my check-in appointment with a midwife, that's in a couple of weeks. I'll be into my week 8, so I'm kind of hoping by then I might have lost actually a wee bit of weight, because obviously now that we're out of the Christmas period I won't be eating quite the same amount of foods, although I'm still struggling. You know, carbs is like the biggest thing that helps nausea, but I don't really want to be eating carbs all the time, so I'll see how it goes. I'm still trying to keep good with my water, so hopefully that'll continue up. But I hope you've liked this update, and we'll see you for week 6 to 8, where fingers crossed I'll be able to show you a scan photo. Please. Anyway, catch you later.